Man, you're good at this, man. You're like freaking retarded. Good. You're like a savant. This is all you're good at in life. You're really good. Top tier. That's what you get for doing that to me the whole game. So yeah, yo, I can rap to anything. Uh, yeah, over Call of Duty 4. Yeah, I can rap to anything. Yeah, I can rap to any beat. Yeah, even Call of Duty 4. Listen, I can rap to any beat. Yeah.
If you have the audacity to say that Halloween is a Christian holiday and doesn't come out of roots of paganism, and we know historically, and you admit in your quote that so forth. So we're going to answer all of those questions and more tonight. I felt like I needed to put a pause on the End of the Age series and hit something that's extremely relevant, very controversial within Christianity today. I put a post on Facebook this afternoon, or a post was put on Facebook this afternoon about me doing this teaching tonight, and scores of comments and dialogue and debate are all over the place. Christians saying, I think there's nothing wrong with keeping Halloween. Other ones saying, no, we shouldn't keep it on Halloween. And we could do it, but here's how you need to do it, and everything in between. And so there's definitely not a lot of clarity on this subject just by the comments that were placed today on Facebook. So tonight I'm going to spend the rest of the evening in this teaching going through and unpacking where Halloween came from. Should Christians and should believers celebrate this holiday? If we should celebrate this holiday, how do we celebrate this holiday? Should we have an alternative to this holiday? So on and so forth. So we're going to answer all of those questions and more And in PFT fashion, we're going to dig back into real history, pull out facts. We're not going to pull out opinions. We're not going to pull out church-run facts of rewriting history. We're going to go all the way back, thousands of years, and we're going to discover where the roots of Halloween came from. Are you ready? All right, let's dig in. Today, it is the second most popular holiday next to Christmas. Can you believe that? And you should believe that, because when you walk into the stores in August, there are Halloween costumes and paraphernalia starting to be put up in Walmarts and in grocery stores and so on and so forth. They're rearranging aisles to make room for all of that stuff that people buy. It is the second most popular holiday. Over $15 billion will be spent around holidays, around Halloween. $15 billion is going to be spent this year on Halloween. Get this, over 400 million of that is going to be spent on pets getting costumes. That's how ridiculous it is today. People are now getting costumes for their pets. You can't leave the pet out of the equation, so 400 million will be spent on pet costumes alone. Listen, more and more Christians are engaging in Halloween and being encouraged to do so by their pastors, bishops, priests, elders, and even some of the most prominent Christian leaders in America. Recently, an article was given by one of the most popular Christian actors in America today, interviewed in the Huffington Post as of this week, coming out and saying that Christians should have the largest block parties on the planet, in America, on Halloween. Here's what he had to say. This comes directly from the Christian Post, one of the largest Christian newspapers online. Quote, early on, Christians would dress up in costumes as the devil, ghosts, goblins, and witches, precisely to make the point that those things were defeated and overthrown by the resurrected Jesus Christ. You should have the biggest party on your block, he told CP, Christian Post. Halloween gives you the opportunity to show how Christians celebrate the day that death was defeated, and you can give them gospel tracts and tell the story of how every ghost, goblin, witch, and demon was trounced the day that Jesus rose from the grave. Clearly, no Christians ought to be glorifying death, because death was defeated, and that was the point of All Hallows Eve. Now, at a cursory view, this might even inspire some of you. It looks good. It sounds good. It sounds spiritual. But what I want to do as a historian is I want to go back and I want to unpack these historical statements that he just made and make sure that they're accurate. Because when you say that early on Christians would dress up in costumes, well, how early are you talking? How early are you talking about, in the 70s? Or 70 AD. There's a big difference. And so there is a connotation that comes from this. There's an aroma that comes from these quotes that make you feel like he's talking about early Christians. When I say early Christians, I am clearly talking about first century Christians. Most Christians, when they read this, would automatically put that mindset in. So there is, in a way, a very deceiving, even though I believe it's completely unintentional by the one who made this statement, but there is a deceiving color that comes from this that, listen, early Christians dressed up like ghosts and goblins, and the point and the purpose of doing that was to mock them. So I took the liberty upon myself to go back in history, 100 year by 100 year, millennium by millennium, all the way back thousands of years, to find out where these traditions came from, to find out that, is this statement true? Did anyone at any time outside of modern history ever dress up to mock demons? We're going to discover that. And then lastly, I highlighted this one quote. It was the point of All Hallows Eve was to show that Jesus rose from the dead, and the point was to show that he had victory over death. Let's discover if All Hallows Eve, which eventually evolved into the term Halloween, if that really was an accurate statement. Did it really start out, and is the point and purpose of All Hallows Eve to glorify life? Let's dig in. First of all, the history of Halloween starts with a holiday, an ancient Celtic holiday. It's not pronounced Samhain. It's pronounced Samhain, okay? So Samhain is an ancient Celtic holiday that is thousands of years old. And this is where virtually all scholars in academia find their way back to when they want to do historical traces of Halloween. This is actually where you go to. All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Eve, is much later on the timeline, as we're going to discover. So I want to go to Encyclopedia Britannica. I trust Encyclopedia Britannica on most things. They do a pretty good job at doing historical records. So let's find out from them a little bit about this Halloween day. In ancient Britain and Ireland, the Celtic festival of Samhain Eve was observed on October 31st, at the end of summer. It was an occasion for one of the ancient fire festivals when huge bonfires were set on hilltops to frighten away evil spirits. The souls of the dead were thought to revisit their homes on this day, and the autumn festival acquired sinister significance with ghosts, witches, hobgoblins, black cats, fairies, and demons of all kinds said to be roaming about. In addition, Halloween was thought to be the most favorable time for divinations concerning marriage, luck, health, and death. So right away, if I did not tell you this was the festival of Samhain, you would automatically be thinking Halloween, because this describes it to a T, and we haven't even gotten started yet. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. Samhain, also spelled this way, one of the most important and sinister calendar festivals of the Celtic year. At Samhain, held on November 1st, so it's October 31st to November 1st, the world of the gods was believed to be made visible to mankind. And the gods played many tricks on their mortal worshipers. It was a time fraught with danger, charged with fear, and full of supernatural episodes. Sacrifices and propitiations of every kind were thought to be vital, for without them, the Celts believed they would not prevail over the perils of the season or counteract the activities of the deities. Samhain was an important precursor to Halloween. So, ladies and gentlemen, we see right off the bat that the actual origin of Halloween had nothing to do with All Hallows' Eve, that we're going to see evolved from the Catholic Church, that its roots go all the way back into a pagan cultic festival called Samhain, where they believed that the curtain or the veil between earth and the second dimension of the demons, of the demonic realm or the place of the dead, was thinned. And at that place on October 31st and November 1st, the veil was thinned, and that allowed spirits of the dead to transfer from the place in the abode of the dead into the place of the living. And because of that, there were many supernatural things that happened during those time periods, and so a lot of cultural traditions developed to counter what they called, some of them, the gods. Okay? Today, even in Satanism, the high holy day, guess when it is? October 31st. Where do you think they get that from? Is it made up? They too believe. The Wiccans believe. The actual pagan religion, the pagans believe. They'll even tell you on their own websites that I saw this quote. It said, Christians, you can thank us for Christmas, Easter, and Halloween. And they know that. And actually, I read multiple articles on pagan, Wiccan, and occultic websites that are angry that Christians celebrate their holidays. They feel like that Christians are hijacking their holy days. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a strange paradox when you have Satanists that are upset because Christians are celebrating their holy day. Something's not right with that statement. And as we walk through the timeline here, you're going to find out. We're going to find out whether Christians can hijack, whether we should redeem, and whether it can be redeemed or not. What does the Bible say? So first of all, in the history timeline, from the Celts, they celebrated this festival called Samhain, and then along came the Romans. And the Romans took over the Celts. After conquering the Irish and the Celts in the first century, Samhain began to get mixed with two other Roman feasts for the dead, because the Romans had their own feast for the dead. Those were called Pomona Day and Feralia. So Pomona Day and Feralia, two feasts that were integrated into Samhain. How many know that every time a country takes over another country, there's a mixture of traditions? Okay? What is the best expression of that here in the United States? Everything we do. The United States is a melting pot, is it not? So look at all the traditions from Ireland that have come in, from Scotland, from even Great Britain, from Mexico. Okay, there is all kinds of traditions that are melt in a culture that gets mixed with another culture, and that's exactly what happened when the Romans took over the Celts in the first century. Is that the Samhain festival? The Romans now are living amongst the Celts are living amongst the Romans, and there was a mixture of, hey, that's kind of cool in your holiday, let's mix that in here, and that's pretty neat, you guys do that, let's do this. And then those holidays began to merge. So I'm going to show you some of the things and how they merged on the timeline. For instance, Feralia was held on February 21st and was the day to honor the dead. But like other Roman holidays, it was completely filled with drunkenness, orgies, fornication, all kinds of crazy stuff, very similar to the Feast of Saturnalia, of which was a 12-day feast, of which we get the 12 days of Christmas from. Yes, I'm sorry if you haven't watched Truth or Tradition. Now would probably be a good time to do that before you get too upset with me. But yes, that's where these holidays come from. They come all the way back into the 2,000 plus years ago. Pomona Day, on the other hand, was November 1st. This was a day to honor the goddess Pomona, who's the goddess of trees, fertility, and fruits. And you know what her sacred symbol was? None other than the apple. Okay, we'll come back to that a little bit later, and you'll see that there's a connection all the way back to the garden of why her her symbol was the apple. So there was a day in Roman times on November 1st called Pomona Day. That's where they honored the goddess Pomona, and her major symbol was the apple, and of course she was the goddess of fruit trees. Next comes along the Catholic Church. Just a few hundred short years later, we've got this. Having multiple days for remembering the dead saints and martyrs, the Catholic Church agreed that there should be one day for all of the saints. And so what was happening in Catholicism, very, very early Catholicism in the 3rd and 4th century, is that a martyr, or what they can be considered a saint, and you were automatically a saint if you were martyred, and that's how they began. So when you became a saint in the Roman Catholic Church, they believed in remembering your death and honoring you in your death. And that's fine and dandy, but what happened was multiple people began to be saints, so many that they would have dates booked up every month throughout the month. They were remembering the dead every day. So there was a logic that went in that said, hey, listen, there's too many dead saints to all remember individually. Let's package them all together. A political, logical move was made, and let's put them all into one day, and we'll call it All Saints' Day. So with the backing of the Roman government, okay, because at that time the church and the government were working hand in hand, it was decided to whitewash the Roman Day of the Dead and turn it into the day of remembering and praying to the dead saints. So remember, much of what we get in history today comes from a political process, a compromising of church and state for the betterment of the people. So, in quotes there. Because what happened is that they thought, okay, there's already a day of remembering the dead in Rome. So in the church side of Rome, the church side of Rome and the state side of Rome, the church side of the Rome, who's really connected, arm and body, with the state side of Rome, or the government side, said, well, if we're going to do that, let's just pick a day that will be easier for everybody, and let's take over the Roman Day of the Dead, because we don't really agree with that whole Roman Day of the Dead anyway. But if we use their day, then people will remember the saints. And so that was the logic behind that. And really, ultimately, it kind of made sense if you didn't have a biblical background, and you didn't know what the front of the book said, then this was a good move. And so they made this move, and that day ended up being, when you get to Ephraim Cyrus, who died in 373, he mentions that there's a feast dedicated to the saints in his writings. So we know historically that as early as in the 370s that there definitely was one day set aside to remember the saints. Then comes along John Chrysostom, who died in 407. Now this guy, if you do any homework on him, he's a major saint in Catholicism. Not only in Catholicism, but he's one of the saints that has crossed over into Protestantism and became a church father, or someone that is held in tremendous high esteem in Protestantism. Even Christianity Today, I believe, wrote an article about and esteemed him greatly as a church leader. He was called the Golden Mouth because he was so articulate. He captivated thousands of people with his messages and his sermons, and he was only in his 20s when he went into full-time ministry. He was very gifted, came from a wealthy family. The problem with Mr. Chrysostom is that he lacked a true biblical understanding of the Hebraic background of the faith. And so it would not surprise you that he was incredibly anti-Semitic. And so when he comes along, what he does is he puts a stamp on this All Saints Day, and he says that we're going to fix it to the first Sunday after Pentecost. Then from him, we're actually going to make this even more solid. The name was changed because the name originally was Feralia. Even though they had it for All Saints Day, there was no All Saints Day name. It was a day for all the saints, but they still used the name Feralia. So they changed the name from Feralia to All Saints Day, and the date was changed to kill two birds with one stone. They changed it to May 13th. May 13th, 609 AD, Pope Boniface IV dedicated the Pantheon in Rome in commemoration of all Christian martyrs. And that, even in his historical Catholic records, is the day that All Saints' Day was born. Now, what their historians will tell you in Catholicism is that All Saints' Day was born right here in 609 AD, had nothing to do with paganism, and it had to do with the christening, if you will, of the Pantheon to be a church and to remember all of the martyrs in All Saints' Day. The problem is that they didn't just choose May 13 as just an ambiguous number picked out of a hat to commemorate the Christian church here at Rome, the Pantheon. It was chosen for a reason. May 13 was chosen. Why was it chosen May 13th? Because that was the day of the Roman Lemuria festival. So the Lemuria festival was a major pagan festival where the head of the household would get up at midnight and perform a ritual to exorcise and remove dead spirits from their homes. So the Catholic Church's agenda throughout the centuries was to take the pagan holidays and begin to take them over, which sounds totally spiritual. We're going to discover as we go on is that biblical? Do we have the right to take over these days or not? And I know many of you that are in the sound of my voice already have your mind maybe made up, or you have your own opinion. Hold with me on this. Let's find out if their agenda worked, because ultimately you know it by the fruit. So let's discover if this was a good plan. This dates all the way back to the 6th century BC, by the way, this Lemuria festival. So they chose this to try to hijack this Lemuria festival, this Roman pagan feast of the dead. So then it was moved again. This time it was moved to Samhain Day. Why? Because noticing that the Celts that they took over, in the first century, are still celebrating Samhain, and Samhain's on October 31st through November 1st. So Pope Gregory III in 741 AD moved All Saints' Day to November 1st to dedicate the new All Saints Chapel. Makes sense. In St. Peter's, Rome. At the same time, making an effort to Christianize the pagan feast of the same name. So what's happening on the same day is that the Catholic Church is attempting to throw holy water on pagan feasts. They're attempting to Christianize something that is demonic. So let me ask a question. Would we all agree that the pagan feast Samhain festival, which was a pagan feast of the dead, is not from God? I want you to remember that. Something that's not from God, God doesn't want. It's a simple logic that we need to remember as we walk through here. So All Souls Day, what is All Souls Day? Well, that happens to be the next day after All Saints Day, November 2nd. Then in 988 AD, the Catholic Church added another day, November 2nd, to remember all of the souls that were suspended in a place called purgatory and needed the prayers of their loved ones. As with the festival of Samhain, the Catholic believers celebrated with huge bonfires, parades, and costumes, masquerading as dead saints, angels, and demons. Altogether, All Saints' Eve, October 31st, All Saints' Day, November 1st, and All Souls' Day, November 2nd, combined into what was called Hollow Mass, or Holy Mass, imitating to the T the Celtic feast of Samhain. So they may not have known this because this is now 1,000 years after the Celts were celebrating Samhain for already hundreds of years before that. But these people that were alive at this time that are celebrating in costumes, masquerading as dead spirits, demons, dead saints, bonfires, and all these things were literally imitating the very Celtic, pagan, demonic feast from 1,000 years earlier, and they didn't even know it. I submit to you today that we're doing the exact same thing. Call it what you want. Do it however you want. If an ancient Celt showed up today, he'd feel right at home. From All Saints' Day to Halloween, how did that jump happen? In 1556, the Scottish term All Hallows' Eve began to be used. So in 1500s is when we see the first term All Hallows' Eve. And so when a famous Christian actor says that this is the original point of Halloween, it comes from All Hallows' Eve, that word wasn't even used until the mid-1500s. Its actual meaning means hallowed evening or holy evening. When the phrase was used in the English language of the West in 1745, it was pronounced Halloween. That's where it comes from. So Halloween comes from All Hallows' Eve, which means holy evening. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were to ask even an average Christian, would you consider Halloween holy? Yes or no? I would bet, I would hope, 90+% would say no. So then if the answer is no, why do we even call it Holy Evening? Because that's exactly what we're saying. It doesn't matter if it's a coined phrase called Halloween, you're literally saying this is a holy night. So if you're going to be at least intellectually honest and you choose to celebrate Halloween, at least come up with a different name. Then what happened? The Irish potato famine of 1846. How on earth does an Irish potato famine have anything to do with Halloween? You might be thinking to yourself, it has absolutely everything to do with Halloween. Why? Because the Celts come from there. So you have millions of Irish and Scottish settlers that are coming into the United States in the 1840s, and guess what they're bringing with them? The Samhain Festival. This is how it came to America. So in the 1840s is when you see millions of Irish Celts used to celebrating Samhain, immigrating to America during this time, had major, major impact on what Halloween actually looks like today. It's coming all the way back, thousands of years. The Samhain festival is reoccurring here in the United States. So let's ask this question. So was the point of All Saints' Day or All Hallows' Eve to dress up like demons, to show that death was defeated, like some influential Christian leaders would have you believe? Let's answer that question, because ultimately it is the reason and fundamental foundation of that particular Christian leader's philosophy, or dare I say theology, of why he believes celebrating Halloween should be not only available to Christians, but we should actually engage in it. That's the premise. Let's find out. What is All Saints' Day? Because this is what it is. Halloween is All Saints' Day. Catholics celebrate All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day in the fundamental belief that there is a prayerful spiritual communion between those in the state of grace who have died and are either being purified in purgatory, a holding place, or are in heaven, and the church militant who are the living. So basically, All Saints' Day is a commemoration where they pray to the dead saints. And the dead saints intercede for them. Even though my Bible tells me when you're dead, you're dead. There is no interceding for the living from the people of the dead. That's what our Bible says. And my Bible says that there's only one mediator between God and man, and that's Yeshua, not some dead guy. All Souls' Day, which is November 2nd, is a day of remembering and praying for the dead to be purified and brought into heaven. So the very 2 days, All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day, did not originate with the Catholic Church, but built on pagan, cultic, demonic practices of festivals. They pray for dead Catholic saints and pray for dead Catholic family members that they can get out of purgatory and eventually get into heaven. Nothing in the historical record says that Catholics ever dressed up, ever, to mock demons or mock death. That is not the historical record, as you're going to find out. Let's look into Hebrews chapter 9 and talk about praying for the dead. Verse 27, it says, "And as it is appointed for men once to die, but after this, the judgment." Once to die, then judgment. There is nothing in between of an opportunity to go from death, eternal death, to eternal life once you're dead. Once you're dead, it's over with. Your judgment is sealed. Think about the logic. If you died and you knew there was an eternal life, you probably would repent. Who wouldn't? There wouldn't even be a need for a lake of fire. But beyond that, let's continue. Psalms 115:17 says, "The dead praise not Yahweh, neither any that go down into silence. But we will bless Yahweh from this time forth and forevermore, praise the Lord." The dead can't praise the Lord. Think about this. So if they can't praise the Lord because they're dead, how do they pray for you? Because we are to believe, and I grew up Catholic till the 6th grade, so I'm very familiar with this. They have all kinds of saints that you ask the saint to pray for you. How can the saint pray for you if he's dead and he can't even praise the Lord? Ecclesiastes 5:5 says, For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing. They have no more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Why don't they know anything? Because they're waiting for the resurrection. Why? It's judgment. They're not allowed to speak. That's why the witch of Endor, Saul had to call up Samuel. And Samuel says, what? What did you wake me up for? Necromancy. In Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 10, it says, "There shall not be found among you anyone who makes his son or his daughter pass through the fire, or one who practices witchcraft, or a soothsayer, or one who interprets omens, or is a sorcerer. Listen to this. Or one who conquers spells, or a medium, or a spiritist, or one who calls up the dead, or calls upon the dead. Why am I going through all this? Because I'm trying to put some weight and gravity on this holiday's reality of what it means to the ones who made it. This is what they believe. When you celebrate Halloween, you are engaging in a belief system of necromancy. You are engaging in a belief system of calling upon the dead. You may not call upon the dead. You can say all day long, well, that's not what Halloween means to me. Well, when was the last time that God ever cared about what it meant to you? Because the last time I checked, when they hooked up that whole golden calf thing, and they said, tomorrow we're going to have a feast to Yahweh, Yahweh wasn't too happy that that golden calf was replacing Moses, who they thought died on the mountain, and they thought they were worshiping Yahweh through this golden calf, and God said, nope, sorry, I understand your hearts are sincere, but I just want to let you guys know something. Let me whisper it in your ear. I don't care about your sincerity. I care that you worship me the way I have asked to be worshiped. Don't build me a golden calf. I will not accept that. Matter of fact, I'll call it idolatry. Because what happened in Egypt, outside of Egypt, when they built that golden calf, ladies and gentlemen, that was the exact same thing that the Catholics tried to do to the Celtic cultic Festival of Samhain. They tried to redeem it, sprinkle a little holy water on it, and then worship Yahweh with that. Some of you go, what are you talking about? The golden calf was another god. No, it wasn't. There's two perspectives in the Bible. There's your perspective and there's his. Read the text. From the perspective of the Israelites, Moses has been gone for 40 days. They thought he was dead. And you have to know Egyptian culture and Egyptian religion to know that they did not serve the gods directly. They served them through idols. So when they lost this new God called Yahweh, because they lost the mediator, Moses, to this new God Yahweh, they knew they could not go directly to Yahweh. So they created another mediator. The text makes it clear. Aaron says, tomorrow we're going to worship Yahweh. So from their perspective, their hearts are true. Their hearts are sincere. They don't want to leave God. They're going to serve Yahweh. That's why they're all excited. Do you really think they're that dumb that they're going to receive the Ten Commandments?
Sticks and stones.
Enemy destroyed.
Downlinking enemy data.
better neutralize.
Performing intel sweep.
Crash wasted.
Enemy locations incoming. Downlinking enemy data. Enemy locations incoming.
Oh my gosh. Oh shit.
Performing intel sweep. Humiliation. Scanning enemy positions. Performing intel sweep. MTC is dry. Give it all you got. Downlinking enemy data.
I got the show Chucky on my phone, the new series. It's pretty grim. It's quite gruesome. Hanging on for dear life, yeah.
Yo, I was formerly gay. I didn't know that I would be normal this way. What?
You're so dumb.
Yo, that's right.
I was formerly gay.
I was
And then you
formerly
wonder.
gay. And I didn't know if I was normal that way. And then until I looked at a naked female in a porno today.
And I was like, oh, okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Whew, I'm okay.
Yeah, I was formerly gay. Didn't know that it was normal this way until I decided to open up a page in a porno today and realize that women look great, not men anymore. I'm just joking, I was never gay.
All right, Limo, give me a socket wrench, some pliers, and a phone open to libertymutual.com. They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. And a blowtorch.
Remember the day. Laying in my mama's basement on a couch waiting for a little small occasion just to spark my career to go far and make it. Sacrificed everything I had, retarded patience. Now I have everything I ever wanted, thank you. Girl of my dreams, my fiance. A permanent queen like Beyonce. No more. Turning the key in the car seat. No more. Learning to clean all the bar seats. No more. Earning 15 for my heartbeat. No more. Worrying, please do not charge me. No more. Nah. No more. Only come out if the party is sick. I'ma go out like Chris Farley, ya bitch. Smoking more weed, it helps to keep that high. People, they looking at me like he's that guy. Eating pecan pie with a weekend dime. Tried to fuck on Molly but couldn't peak on time. Yeah, I was embarrassed. That was with Paris Hilton out in Paris. We were in carriage, clicking around in the terrace. Making a wish in the fountain de Maris. Yeah, the day that I figured my flow, it was the scariest. Their faces dropped, they were like, it was hilarious. Now the emotions, they bury it. I'm by the ocean, the Marriott. Did I say carriage or chariot? Cause I meant chariot. They ride my wave like the variant. Yeah.
They want the king's head, they wish I'd been dead. Why they distrust? None of my business. God is my witness, they never impressed. So I take a piece test, all on that bitch chest.
I am the Joker, my life is a comedy. Comedy. Hoes love when I pork them, so they just keep hogging me. Hogging me. I molded y'all, but you broke like the pottery.
Why do they always expect an apology? I don't owe nobody nothing, quit calling me. You used to follow me, now you just cry. This my discography, you hate the thought of me. It doesn't bother me, I won't reply. Blame the economy, I hit the lottery. This is a
I'm a self-made man, do what I want, not what I can. Bottle in my hand, cost $1,000, and this ain't no vodka and cran. I drink, I smoke, pop pills, you know what I'm saying. And I always had a plan, but it's one y'all didn't understand. God did. New rags, got it. Bust down, got it. New whip, got it. Ballin', touchdown. New rags, got it. Bust down, got it. Ain't never had shit, now we got it. Don't care if none of y'all believe, cause God did. I already envisioned that I saw this. I predicted it, called it Nostradamus. Every day a new deposit, couldn't pause it. If I wanted to keep coming in regardless. You approach us, be cautious. Fucking animal, walrus, fucking rhinoceros. Fucking crabs in the bucket trying to climb on us. Crawfish, make me drink till I'm nauseous. I got skeletons in my closet. What's wrong with me? Check the diagnostics. 6 figs a month, that's quite modest. Just warming up like it's not quite August. Go ahead, step inside my office. I look in the mirror, that's who my boss is. Y'all keep celebrating my losses. I'll just do it myself, I got this. I'm a self-made man, do what I want, not what I can. Bottle in my hand, cost $1,000, and this ain't no vodka and cran. I drink, I smoke, pop pills, you know what I'm saying. And I always had a plan, but it's one y'all didn't understand. God did. New rags, got it. Bust down, got it. New whip, got it. Ballin', touchdown. New rags, got it. Bust down, got it. Ain't never had shit, now we got it. Don't care if none of y'all believe, cause God did.
yeah. Big baller, but I wish I was a little bit taller. Yeah, you can't do it like me. King Kong, big monster. When I spit, I'm a fire-breathing dragon. When I whip, now I'm driving G-Wagon. Told my boss I need to get rich, so I can't rely on these wages. They wonder why is he bragging, D&G fragrance. Bitches on my dick, now I'm finally famous. And they writing me daily, wishing I could be with them, I don't need babies. Every day negotiating with a different agent. Like who? Asian real estate agents. Want a long haul so I can fill it with paintings. Of who? 100 pictures of my faces.
I'm a self-made man, do what I want, not what I can. Bottle in my hand, cost $1 grand, and this ain't no vodka and cran. I drink, I smoke, pop pills, you know what I'm saying. And I always had a plan, but it's one year.
Downlinking enemy data.
instead of going, you hear me go, but it's just like there, like I was falling.
Yeah, so guys, I'm 1% black and
Put Yan on the beat. Put Yan on the beat. Put Yan on the beat. Put Yan on the beat.
Before you listen to the beat that you're about to listen to, I got a better idea. How about I send you some brand new free for-profit beats that you could use for commercial use?
feeling it's gonna be a scary, scary night. Because you know what? Halloween ends tonight. Michael Myers, Jamie Lee Curtis is about to beat him and kill him.
And I celebrate Halloween after Halloween for 2 weeks.
Halloween ends was so trash.
For 2 months.
Dude, did you see Halloween Ends yet, Justin?
Nah.
It's trash, bro.
I ain't even about that.
Halloween, dude, all the Halloween movies were pretty much cheesy, though. They've always been cheesy.
Why can't you search? Why can't you search?
Oh, you are so good at this. You are like the greatest player of all time. You are the greatest player to ever do it. You are the champion. But you know what? I'm John Cena. I'm the 16th time. So you can't see me.
Do I watch the Treehouse of Horror today? That shit was banging.
Walking on a sun, just touched down, a journey just begun. God forgive me for the dirt I've done. Deny it while I hold a smoking gun. I'm walking on a sun.
Gained a lot of weight and lost it in a month. I'm with Johnny Nani on the Molly. Walking on the sun, we not stopping till we've won. With rings like Sonic Hedgehog. Bust down, roly, holy moly, that's my best. Watching Venice on a Vespa, spending all the rest of my euros. Yeah, that's plural. Gave her pearls on her necklace. Yeah, sorry Becca, but you really better not say a word. I just did that out of wedlock. Yeah, landed on a planet from Jupiter. Easy Mac is a looper, stranded with Anderson Cooper, trying to hack a computer that belonged to Vladimir Putin. If I pull my dick out, it's like I put my hands around a ruler. Ooh, none of you know how to maneuver. Ooh, yeah, wow, you a loser. With no drive now, you probably get found in an Uber.
Walking on the sun, just touched down, a journey just begun. God forgive me for the dirt I've done. Deny it while I hold a smoking gun. I'm walking on the sun, just touched down, a journey just begun. God forgive me for the dirt I've done. Deny it while I hold a smoking gun. I'm walking on the sun, burning up. Better be a bag when I'm turning up. Yeah, I'm about to pop out like a hernia. Is that easy and I need turn it up? Yeah. Savage like I'm 21. Watch this 20 just for fun. Chain like a flashbang, got him stunned. Watch the movement, got him spun. She told me I was the one, but she meant a one and done. They say look what I become. You sound dumb. Heard your last joint, what are you doing? Hit the redo, hit undone. Do them chores, bro, you my son. We get this bread and we leave no crumbs. Yeah, yeah. I got that wedding cake on deck. Yeah, yeah. Easy roll one while I count cake in the vet. Yeah, yeah. Okay, just one more Percocet. Yeah, yeah. Now look how high we are. That's why we walking on the sun. Just touched down, a journey just begun. God forgive me for the dirt I've done. Deny it while I hold a smoking gun. I'm walking on the sun. Just touched down, a journey just begun. I'm walking on the moon, higher than a air balloon. I take a lot cause I'm immune. I'll be back, I'll come down soon. I just wanna go to Mexico. Weed and alcohol and sex and blow. This lifestyle is unconventional. so your morals must be flexible. I just wanna go to, yeah. Self-made over here, no silver spoon.
That's facts.
Time of my life up in my room. I'm out of town, catch me on Zoom. On vacation, National Lampoon. Already drinking and it's noon. Let's go, I'll take you to the moon. She like being spoiled, getting swooned. She half black, half white like a raccoon. Her panties feel like a lagoon.
Yo, what's good? What's your name? XP. Oh, okay, that's dope. What that stand for? Zanny Pacquiao. What the fuck?
I'm an overdoser, I'm an overdoser. Should I go to rehab? I just tell them no, sir. I'm an...
Yo, what's good? What's your name? XP. Oh, okay, that's dope. What that stand for? Zanny Pacquiao. What the fuck?
I'm an overdoser, I'm an overdoser. Should I go to rehab? I just tell them no, sir. I'm an overdoser,
no.
I'm an overdoser. Should I go to rehab? I just tell them no, sir. I done died before. Zanny with the coke, Sprite inside the lean, seasoned food with green basil. If you just like me, you should smoke some boats or shoot up some dog food. It'll make you float. Windex on my breath, glass. I just smoked some meth, glass. If you consider yourself black, then snorting coke's the best. Yes. Belts around my arm, PCP no harm. I'm geeking off a breakfast bowl, perks and Lucky Charms.
There's a message in my words if you pay attention. Cause every line I spit works more than Jamaican women. Y'all pray for money and things, I only pray for wisdom. In case you missed it, my foundation is making wishes true. I got some goons that if I call them now, we'll get a few clips for you. Load them into the pistol and spit them through. But I don't wanna do it, boy, don't tempt me. You could get filled up with hollows till you empty. Triple entendre, empty, hollow, filled up. Sleep with the fishes till your casket gets sealed up. I got a couple of exes, I know they miss me now. Cause I give them no hang time like Mr. Cow. Couldn't believe in my dreams, so I just run them off. Now that I'm on, they horny like they just coming off. Don't even try to compare, it's just tragic. If I can't be the best, I'ma be the best at it. Frank Lucas. I just stole your bitch in the lunch line. She was hungry, nigga. And I stole your sister off the hotline. All on my phone. Got her in my kitchen whipping cocaine. We be smoking gas, nigga, propane. The king of the hill. I whip it, I flip it out. Giuseppe Margiela, I kick it out. Your bitches be thirsty, they all on my dick. They need them some water, they hicking up. Pull up to the club in the forest. Pull up to the club in the Phantom. I'm about to run up a check. Money longer than a tennis. Got your bitch on my dick in the penthouse. And her head feel wetter than 10 mouse. Started from nut, now nigga made. Money under mattress, need a bigger bag. Used to hustle, now I wholesale the work. On the corner, now I sell it right in church. She was bad, but I had to set her free. She a stripper with a couple STDs. Fuck you skinny jean rappers, I get rah-rah and shoot ya. All you niggas is turkeys, Zaza Pachulia. These rappers is gay, the dykes be the manliest. I pull up.
Attorney General Keith Ellison. He puts our health and safety first. He'll always defend the right to choose.
Frank Lucas. The streets are played with doped up fiends. Cause messing with crack will give you broken dreams. So stay away from drugs. And if I had one wish, it'd be them trucks would never drop cocaine on my strip. I was out moving packs, me and moms was riffing. But I had to keep them lights on, put food in the kitchen. Stepped up to be the man with no dad in the home. I'm just trying to feed my daughter, but I'm killing my own. I'm a dope boy, all a nigga know. Riding around with P's and O's while I'm blowing on that dro. Coke money got me paid now, I'm the host choice. Didn't love me, I was bumming, now I'm pushing Rolls Royce. I'm geeked up off this Molly and this angel dust. Geeked up off this lean and this salvia. I'm turned up off this Zanny, about to have a seizure. I'm so high that I'm gon' meet Jesus. I'm so high that I'm gon' meet Jesus. I'm so high that I'm gon' meet Jesus. Every morning, every night, on my mind is my girl, the special one who breathes life into my world, the one who makes me complete, cause a love is a dream. I was looking for a woman, but I found me a queen. Yo, word, ma, I love how you be holding me down. Might've wanted you a ring, but I gave you a crown. With a shorty like you, how could I ever bounce? You ask if I'm your dude for life? No doubt, I'm in love with your body. I can buy you an apartment, spend all my money on you. It ain't tricking if you got it. Then I'ma take you to an island. I'ma buy you a rocket. I'ma buy you a planet. It ain't tricking if you got it. And I'ma buy you Jesus. I don't love that bitch, but I take your bitch. Cause a nigga rich. Eat the booty like grits. Eat the booty like grits. I don't love that bitch, eat the booty like grits. Frank Lucas. There once was a cluckhead who owed me $10. I caught him in the alley, so I grabbed him by his collar. I told him I would beat him if he didn't have my cash. He was shaking so bad, rocks was falling out his ass. You on my block, you better march on, cause my pistol Pete will take you out the game like Marshawn. And if you survive, don't tell nothing, cause I'll shoot you from the middle of the court like Bill, son. Baby, what it do? Hear your boy cranky danky, the opposite of lanky. Smoking on that stanky, candy painted old school, sitting on them Twankies. Got a white high chandelier on my panky.
Where's Believe Me? I can't find him, man. Yazir, Believe Me? I'm dipping soon. Is it this guy?
Oh, this dude's probably, oh, that ain't even it, man. Nah, man, he ain't even, he's probably just a Facebook rapper. That's pretty dope, though.
Lame. It's like being just a MySpace rapper.
It's probably not a smart idea that I go,
You
but
ever heard of reality rapper? He's like some foreign guy.
my friend's gonna be
Scanning enemy positions.
Performing intel sweep. Downlinking enemy data. Humiliation.
Yo, it's John Cena. Can't see me. Oh, I'm John Cena. Can't see me. I'm the 16th time. You know what I mean? 16. Your time is up. My time is now. I'm John Cena. Told you. 'Cause I'm John Cena. Oh. Dude, you are so fast, man. You're like Chun-Li. Dude, you are so good at this. The only thing I'm good at is wrestling in the ring and making movies. So I'm John Cena. Oh, you're so good at this, man. Yo, I'm John Cena. Your time is up. My time is now. kid, I was like, yo, I'm John Cena. You can't see me. And then this kid's just like, you ain't John Cena. I'm like, yes, I am. I'm the 16th. Like, I just like messed with him, and then did it the whole time. He didn't believe me, but I thought it was funny. I started cracking up. I was like, Kieran. Yeah. That looks really nice, man. It's bigger. It's is it how much is it the house apartment? That's your house? Dude, that's nice, man. I'm happy for you, dude. So here's another money. Dude, that's really really nice, Steve. I'm happy to
Check the view.
me and Luke will have to come down and visit you sometime, man.
I'm actually leaving. I'm coming back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You're moving back to Minnesota?
Yeah. Well,
Yo, I'm about to change because I'm about to leave.
You're about to change?
I'm not. Oh, here. That's really nice, though, man. Here's Luke. I'll be right out.
Yeah, Danny didn't want to show him. Didn't want to show you to show you to see his big, huge dong.
you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going. I might be going to Phoenix or Dallas. One of the two. I got hired by an airline, dude.
Oh, really?
I don't really want to celebrate Halloween, actually, but.
Well, no, I'm about to be leaving in very shortly.
Well, I'm not even. You know what I mean, though. I'm not.
No. Halloween is like I don't even know why even celebrate Halloween.
I'm not even celebrating it. I'm just hanging out like a typical day.
Halloween's lame, dude. Danny and Clay are really about to go trick or treating.
I'm not trick or treating. Yeah, we're going trick or treating to Summit Avenue. He's coming to pick me up, but we're going to trick or treat on Summit Avenue, and we're gonna act like we're 8 years old.
Clay and Danny are come go up there. Hey, you guys are like 40. Is this? Yeah, but I want some fucking candy.
You are almost 40, aren't you?
It's like I'm trying to save. I'm trying to be greedy as all I can. I don't want to go to the store and pay for candy. I'd rather just go house to house and get free candy.
Yeah, Danny still smokes weed. And I do too.
Still plays video games and talk shit.
I still smoke weed too, though.
Dude, you still drink and drive too.
Yeah, drinking and driving's not good, Luke.
Danny for some reason has some really garbage weed right now. Where'd you get this from?
Somebody in PHA.